Something convulsive, something repulsive, something for everyone accompanied tonight. Something aesthetic, something frenetic, something for everyone accompanied tonight. Nothing of cause, nothing of phase. Weighty affairs will just have to wait. Nothing that's formal, nothing that's normal. No recitations to recite. Open up the curtain, believe tonight.
Welcome. Wow. So excited to have you here. Welcome to the 50 years of theater celebration for our friend and teacher and mentor, Ron Koeppl. And we are just so thrilled that you've come to share this evening with us. We've got a lot of surprises planned, and all of us have really come together tonight to kind of remember and to reminisce and to recognize, and more than anything, just to say thank you for the unbelievable impact that you have had in our lives, in our careers, and really the people that we have become. And so it's our honor and privilege to be here. I'm a graduate of Central Factor. Yeah, well, listen, I'm first, but you're going to see a lot of pictures like this. I graduated in 1983 and had a privilege of being a part of a few of Ron's productions during that short window of those 50 years that our paths crossed. And right now I'm a morning show host at a radio station in North Carolina. And I, like most of all the other old faces that you're going to see tonight, I think look back at our careers and look back at the time and the investment and the love that you poured into all of us, and really it has become such an important part of our careers and the people that we are and the success that we've had in life. And so we're here to do a little celebrating tonight, and we've got a lot of other surprises planned and things like that. But before we go any farther, the question that everybody really in the back of their minds wants to know is, are you surprised? I've been speechless only a few times tonight. Listen, you're not an easy guy to plan.
I'm working. I'm going to kill your mother.
Can I just say your sons were equal partners?
I'm not only surprised, I'm overwhelmed.
Wow.
I saw the marquee as they drove in, and I went, what the hell? It was ready to go with John. And that was sort of a equally, but
wow.
not this equally.
I tell you, we've got some music to share tonight, and we've got some stories to tell tonight, and we've got some laughs to laugh, and probably a few tears to shed before it's all said and done. But really tonight is really all of us have come together, because for 50 years now, Ron, you have invested yourself and given us the platform and the opportunity and the privilege and the permission for a lot of us for the very first time to be a star. And tonight, we want to return the favor. And so all of us have come together tonight to make you a star.
Speaking of old faces, I'll stand back. I'm just a Spanish tamale according to May. Pretty little Rose Alvarez, what a cat she'd make for a convalescent. Who would have thought, Ron? Who would have thought? Good evening. I am Melinda Oswald Ramsden, and in the winter of 1966, had the honor of becoming Ron Koeppl's first leading lady in the musical production of Bye Bye Birdie, which was staged at Haynes Junior High. Now, St. Charles High School was known entity for its musical talent productions. They hadn't seen the likes of our fledgling group of 7th, 8th, and 9th graders when we took the stage by storm in the spring of 1967. When that first performance ended, the Ron Koeppl musical legacy began. And there's been no looking back, to which this evening will attest. Now, last month, the class of 1970, from which I graduated, held its 40th reunion, and we invited Ron to attend. And during that evening, he reminisced with former students, many of whom were in that production. And I got to thinking today, I wonder if that's why our class is so close. Because I still receive comments about how that show impacted people's lives, and it linked you and I through more theatrical productions and companies than we probably previously cared to admit. But the cat is out of the bag. So Ron, on behalf of the Birdies, my drama director, my history teacher, and my friend, an English teacher, my English teacher, thank God you became my English teacher. You had a little casita in Fairview. You took vacations and traveled, and you knew what life meant. An English teacher is really someone. How proud we are that you became one. It could have been such a wonderful life. I could have been Mrs. Peterson, Mrs. Albert Peterson, Mrs. Five-Minute Capra Peterson, and English teachers. We love you, Ron. Oh, yes, we do. We don't love anyone as much as you. When you're not near us, we're blue. Oh, Ron, we love you.
Again, we're thrilled you're here, Scott and Ron's granddaughter. Oh, I think Scott's running solo tonight. He's got a little presentation to make.
Stage right. She has too. Long time since I've been up on the stage in front of people. About a year ago, when all this started coming into our minds, we started planning things, I had Anna, my daughter, write a letter to Grandpa saying, I've got a school project and I need a funny story from the family. And we, of course, this is all planned. There was no project. But I needed Dad to tell us about the first time he ever directed a play, because I know the story. It's a hoot. It's not something you would expect from a Ron Koeppl performance, and he sent it, so I have it. And so I'd like to read this from his perspective. And we're going, you want to stand up here with me? No? Okay. All right, here we go. I was a new 22-year-old teacher in September of 1961. I was nervous and a little bit scared because finally I would have my own students and I would be 100% responsible for them. As a student teacher, I didn't have that responsibility. The first day of school, the principal, Mr. Kane, called me into his office to sign me up for some extra duty. My two choices were bus duty or 8th grade play. Aren't we glad he didn't do the other? Oh my gosh. 50 years of bus direction. Well, being that school was out in the middle of the farm fields and winter would be fast approaching, I decided to go with the play. Anything had to be better than standing out in the cold and snow. How hard could it be? I have done skits in the classroom during student teaching. Finally, I had a chance to scope out the stage, which was in the gymnasium. The curtain was heavy green plastic, and there was nothing on the stage but a bunch of stored extra desks. The only lights were 4 big floodlights with one on and off switch. So folks, remember that switch because it's going to play a major part later. I decided on a one-act play called Willie Gets a Date, which I searched forever for, and I don't think anyone's allowed to do it anymore. So much for Google. I had auditions in October, and I found I had only 4 weeks at 3 times a week to rehearse. I could do that, or so I thought. The students appeared excited, and we began the rehearsal process. All was going quite well. Everyone had memorized their lines, and we worked hard at looking animated using the whole body and not just the voice. Is that a Ron Koeppl line or what? The day of the play was very near when I decided that it was time to add some scenery. Since we didn't have any money to spend, I asked if I could use the faculty room furniture. My first mistake. Most experienced teachers know that faculty furniture is cheap and therefore not very reliable. But I was a new teacher, so this fact had not occurred to me. The day of the play arrived. The entire school was invited to the performance, so the gym was packed with 7th and 8th graders. The actors were very excited. We were seated and we were ready to start when, bang, one of the 4 floodlights exploded. Get the broom. All was cleaned up, the curtain opened, and the play began. The actors suddenly were way too quiet. The stage manager leaned out and yelled, "Louder!" And just as he yelled, the leading lady was on her way to sit on the orange plastic sofa. She plopped down like she was going to sit for the very last time. Suddenly, the 2 side sofa legs fell out of their sockets, and she slid down the orange plastic like an Olympic skier. She flopped on the floor, embarrassed. The leading man hurried to help her up, bent over, and split his pants. That sounds like something I'd do. The stage manager, never having any of this happen in the rehearsals, panicked and turned the light switch to off, immersing the entire gymnasium in a pitch blackness. As I felt my way from the back of the gym along the interior wall towards the stage, I heard the stage manager yell through the darkness, "Mr. Koeppl, should we start over?" As I reached the backstage, I said, "No, just continue like nothing happened." The play continued, and the crowd applauded wildly, especially because the leading man was caught in front of the curtain after the curtain call. Boy, I learned a lot that day. And that is how the 50 years started.
We have several presentations to make tonight, and we'll kind of spread them out throughout the course of the evening. But the first, perhaps the most important, is one that if you were part of Ron's productions ever, there was this thing we kind of affectionately referred to after the fact as the Walk of Doom, which happened the morning after rehearsal, and you walk down the Fine Arts Hall. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? And along the wall was Ron's notes from the previous rehearsal, all posted up along the wall, and sometimes there was 1 or 2 pages, but more often than not, there was 7 or 8 pages. And it was always kind of this sinking feeling as you approached the wall, because you didn't want to see your name up there too often, and you didn't want to see too many red marks around your name and everything. And so he always ended up in rehearsal every day with a yellow legal pad, and we really feel like tonight should be no different. So we have Ron for you to critique all evening long, and we'll look at the notes tomorrow morning.
Tony Schultz here from the St. Charles class of 1984. I'm sitting here in the control room of my recording studio, Big T Productions, in Boston, wishing you a happy 50th anniversary celebration. Being the guitarist in the jazz workshop during my junior and senior years, I had the opportunity to play in Kismet, No No Nanette, and The Wiz. In No No Nanette, I was also asked to play banjo and ukulele, which was a bit of a challenge, but I had a lot of fun. I remember on one version of Tea for Two, I played a solo ukulele piece for a row of male singers, which included Scott, holding ukuleles, wearing red and white striped jackets and flat top hats. During the rehearsals, I tried to distract them on stage by doing my best air guitar moves in the pit while playing this plunkety-plunk ukulele part. The singers could not keep from cracking up, especially Scott. Being hidden from view of the audience, I continued my antics in the actual performances, which by then had escalated to some major flailing. With teachers like you and Jeff Childs to work with us, we were able to develop our talents and build confidence in ourselves that led many of us to pursue artistic endeavors directly related to those experiences. As an educator myself, I can truly appreciate how much energy is required to keep young people motivated and bring out their best. You were more than a teacher, you were our friend, and through your time and effort, made all of us better because of it. I'm so glad that we stayed in touch over the years, and I wish you all the best. Enjoy the rest of the evening and have a great celebration.
Dear God, you made many, many poor people. Now, I know there's no shame in being poor, but it's no great honor either. So, what would have been so terrible if I had just a small fortune? If I were a rich man, all day long like boom. If I were a wealthy man, wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a really rich man, I'd build a big tall house with rooms by the dozen right in the middle of the town. A fine tin roof with real wooden floors below. There would be one long staircase just going up, and one even longer coming down, and one more leading nowhere just for show. I'd fill my yard with chicks and turkeys and geese and ducks for the town to see and hear, squawking just as noisily as they can, and each loud and would land like a trumpet, as if to say, here lives a wealthy man. That last one was the duck. If I were a rich man, all day long I'd boom. If I were a wealthy man, wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a bitty rich, I see my wife, my golden, looking like a rich man's wife with a proper double chin, supervising meals to her heart's delight. I see her putting on airs and strutting like a peacock. Boy, what a happy mood she's in, screaming at the servants day and night. The most important man in town come to fawn on me. All day long I if I were a birthday man, wouldn't have to work hard. Lord, who made the lion and the lamb, you decreed I should be what I am. Would it spoil some vast eternal plan if I were a wealthy
While you're here, great to hear you sing, first of all. It's been a long time. I want you to share a story because there's this rumor going around about an old production of Oklahoma that you were in with Ron. And we can't get away without hearing this story. Here, why don't you take this?
Sure. Yeah. Let's see. I think it was the summer after my freshman year of college. Your freshman year of college, too.
Yeah, we graduated.
And I got a call from Gretchen one day saying, "We're doing Oklahoma, we need more men in the chorus. Can you do it?" I said, "All right, I'll come and sing." And well, there's a couple of ones. I remember, who else was it? David Hunt was in that, and Melinda, and so probably someone else, I forget. You guys, I remember one night with Farmer in the Company, played pop cards, Ado Annie's dad. And there was a night where the lyrics, for territory folks, and I remember standing, I was just to his left, and watching my drum teacher going, and he just couldn't remember the lyrics. And was the solution to put lyrics in the pit, I think? And then, what was that?
They were posted on the wall of the pit.
Yes, posted up. And then, the other thing I remember most about that show, I felt, well, I don't know what he had a bad foot at that point, and he had this big rifle, and he was supposed to say something about, he was mad at Will about marrying Ado Annie, and he supposed to slam the gun down the ground, he hit his bad foot. And so we're all waiting for the light, and I could see like little tears starting to come out, and he's just standing there. And so I kind of took it, I said, "But Will, you can't marry her." And so David starts to realize, and I'm looking back, and he's still standing. I said, "You already bought, if you spent the money, you don't have $50. And we get backstage, and Ron pats me on the head like a dog, and he said, "I knew there was a reason I trained you well." So those are the Oklahoma stories.
We got started counting up this morning with 50 years of directing shows. How many shows that is? That's 127 different productions over 50 years. Not all 127 different ones. You'll see in your program several of them have come up 2 or 3 times, including this next song we're going to share with you. David John is here to sing, and he wants to just basically say thank you for the years of the training and the mentoring and all that you poured into him, which he has used throughout his entire life, but probably more than anything used during the commercial filming for the Outgrow the Ingrown Toenail medicine.
Try to remember the kind of September when grass was green and grain was yellow. Try to remember the kind of September when life was slow and oh so mellow. Try to remember the kind of September when you were a tender and callow fellow. Try to remember and remember, then follow. Try to remember when life was so tender that no one wept except the willow. Try to remember when life was so tender that dreams were kept beside your pillow. Try to remember when life was so tender that love was an ember about to billow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember, although you know the snow will follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember without a hurt. The heart is hollow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember the fire of September that made us mellow. Deep in December, our hearts should remember and follow.
Okay. Yeah, that's better lighting.
Hi, Mr. Koeppl. I wish I could be there with you tonight. It's me, Jill Sheely, class of '84, but I'm here in New York, where I live, and I just finished my show at the Broadway Comedy Club, Comedy Sports, and I just want to say thank you for being a great teacher. You taught me how to do my work with commitment and joy. And I want to say I love you and your family and my family, my husband and my kids. Thank you, because you made me a better person. So thank you and congratulations, and I wish I could be there. Bye.
We plow the fields and scatter the good seed on the land, but it is fed and watered by God's almighty hand. He sends the snow in winter, the warmth to swell the grain, the breezes and the sunshine, and soft, refreshing rain. Okay, so it was the winter of 1981 and I got cast in Godspell. And you know how there are those shows that bring people together? Those shows that you bond friends that you last a lifetime for, and you think that you want to spend every morning to every night with the cast. Well, that was that kind of show for me. And we were like a family, and every family needs a father, and for us you were that father. So I want to thank you for that experience. We thank thee then, O Father, for all things bright and good, the seed time and the harvest, our life, our health, our food. No gifts have we to offer,
break tonight. We're going to have a little reception of the Commons after we're done this evening. And of course, we want you to stay and join us for that and let us catch up face to face. But if you're not able to, or even if you are able to, in your program insert, you found a half slip of paper, which is a really important part of the evening. I know Ron would like to know that you're here, even if you don't get to connect with him afterward tonight. And if you have a story, some of the anecdotes that we're sharing tonight, your own version of them, you want to write that down, just a note of thank you or whatever, that is really an important part of tonight's equation. So we encourage you to do that. In fact, as you go out tonight, there are a couple of boxes that Ron's grandkids have put together that are up along the doors. So make sure you just fill that out, name, email address, all that kind of thing, and drop it in there. That's a really important part of this evening.
With my high starched collar and my high top shoes and my hair held high upon my head, I went to lose a jolly hour on the trolley and lost my heart instead. In his light brown derby and his bright green tie, he was quite the handsomest of men. I started to yen, so I counted to 10, then I counted to 10 again. Clang, clang, clang with the trolley, ding, ding, ding with the bell, zing, zing, zing with my heartstrings. From the moment I saw him, I fell. Chug, chug, chug with the motor, bump, bump, bump with the brake, thump, thump, thump with my heartstrings. When he smiled, I could feel the car shake. Tipped his hat and took a seat. He said he hoped he hadn't stepped upon my feet. He asked my name, I held my breath. I couldn't speak because he scared me half to death. Oh, buzz, buzz, buzz with the buzzer. Plop, plop, plop with the wheels. Stop, stop with my heartstrings. As he started to leave, I took hold of his sleeve with my hand. He stayed on with me, and it was grand just to stand with his hand on in mine till the end of the line.
Hi Ron, it's Mark Koeppl here. Well, here in a manner of the word, that is. Not physically as I would like to have been, but certainly in spirit. This is your night, Ron, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to be a part of this well-deserved tribute to you. I know I speak for so many of us when I say thank you, thank you, thank you for the 50 wonderful years of giving so much joy, inspiration, and guidance to so many. I carry so many fond memories of you as a teacher, director, mentor, and friend. For example, I can recall my senior year class in theater history with you, where you enlightened us to the origins of theater in ancient Greece with your story of Deus ex machina, the crane device that would fly actors dressed as Greek gods and goddesses on and off the stage, all told, of course, with your very unique sense of humor, along with an appreciation for the playwrights Chekhov, Ibsen, and Edward Albee that you gave us as well. And where do I begin to talk about being part of your wonderful productions? Being cast as El Gallo in The Fantastics still holds a very special place in my heart. You have an enormous heart, Ron, that is an equal match for your talents as a director and a nurturer of emerging talent. I can recall how, as a director, you constantly exemplified a trust in our abilities as actors, which then in turn allowed us to trust our own instincts as performers. And I can't think of a more precious gift to give an actor. I truly wish I could be here in person, Ron, to give you these original animation character designs as a small token of my appreciation for you being the very special individual that you are. Sending you a big hug. Hope you can feel it. Mark.
Mark obviously couldn't be here tonight, is out on the West Coast and is a professional illustrator. He's done work with Disney and with DreamWorks as well, and so he sent this on his behalf as a gift for you. And so I just want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to see that. And I'm not going to make you hold it the whole night, okay? I'm just
inside your heart. Believe in yourself, not because I told you to, but believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself like I believe in you. You believe in all of us. Thank you so much.
Well, we've got so much more to come. We're going to take a short little 10-minute intermission and make sure you just head on back, grab a seat, because we've got a lot more surprises still to come. Thank you again for being here.